One day you stop answering the phone, you stop explaining yourself, you stop driving back to the house you grew up in, you feel relieved. Guilt arrives, you wonder if you're a terrible son or daughter, if maybe you should try one more time, because society teaches us that leaving family is unforgivable, you should forgive, you should stay. But what if the person everyone expects you to remain loyal to is the same person who taught you that your feelings don't matter? What if going silent wasn't when your family fell apart, but when you finally stopped breaking yourself to keep it together? Going no contact is rarely caused by one argument. It usually begins years earlier, with small moments nobody else notices, the comments you were expected to laugh at, the boundaries you were told were disrespectful, the feelings that were dismissed, the apologies you gave even when you weren't the one who caused the problem. You learn to stay quiet, avoid certain topics, and read someone's mood before speaking. Eventually, you don't realize you're doing it. This is why people misunderstand estrangement. They see the final decision, but not the years of exhaustion behind it. Most people who walk away tried to stay first. They tried conversations, messages, and another chance. Sometimes things improved briefly. Then the same criticism returned. The boundary. Eventually, a painful realization appears. Maybe they understand but don't want to change. In a healthy family, love allows space. You can disagree, choose differently, say no, and become an adult without permission to exist as yourself. But in an enmeshed family, boundaries become blurred. Your decisions feel like their decisions. Your emotions become their responsibility. Your independence feels like rejection. A parent may say, "I know what's best for you," or "After everything I've done for you, this is how you treat me." It can sound like love, but the message is different. You belong here, as long as you remain who we want. This creates a question. Do I stay connected, or do I finally become myself? Some choose distance, but leaving is rarely easy. The person you're leaving may also be the person you spent childhood trying to please. Children adapt. Some become peacekeepers. Some become caretakers. Some hide feelings because honesty creates problems. You become whatever version keeps the environment stable. This can become a false self built around survival. That pattern can follow you into adulthood. You become good at reading moods. You apologize quickly. You feel guilty saying no. You struggle to know what you want because you've spent years thinking about everyone else. Then something changes. You grow older, you move away, or you simply become exhausted, and suddenly the role you've been playing no longer feels possible. You begin asking, who am I when I'm not trying to keep everyone happy? Why does saying no feel terrible? Because you cannot force another person to understand your pain. You can explain it perfectly, but none guarantees responsibility from them. When boundaries repeatedly produce anger instead of respect, the relationship becomes difficult to repair. You say, "Please don't speak to me like that." They hear, "You are a terrible parent." You say, "I need space." They hear, "You don't love me." You say, "This hurts me." They answer, "You're too sensitive." The conversation becomes about protecting their image. They may deny, minimize, or blame you. Eventually, you stop trying to win. You were explaining your reality while they defended theirs. Then comes the hardest part. Guilt, fear, obligation. The feeling that because they raised you, you owe them access to your life. You fear relatives will judge you. You fear being called selfish, and guilt whispers, "Good children, don't do this." This can keep people trapped for years. But gratitude does not mean surrendering your identity. Being someone's child does not mean they own your life, and forgiveness does not require permanent access. Sometimes distance is not revenge, sometimes it is protection. When someone finally goes no contact, the aftermath isn't always the freedom people imagine. There can be relief, then sadness, then guilt, and relief again. You may miss them, remember good moments, and question your decision. You may grieve while the person is still alive. You're grieving the parent you had and the parent you needed but never received. That grief is real, and both emotions can exist together. Then healing begins. You learn that your feelings are allowed. You learn that saying no does not make you cruel. You learn that rest needs no permission. You learn that healthy relationships don't demand that you disappear to keep someone comfortable. You rediscover your preferences, your values, your voice, and your boundaries. Parts of yourself buried under survival begin returning, but no contact should not be treated as the answer to every family disagreement. Families can heal, people can change, therapy can help, reconciliation can happen when both sides take responsibility. But when the same harm continues and every attempt at healthy communication fails, distance may become necessary. You don't walk away because you want to destroy your family. You walk away because you finally understand that destroying yourself to preserve a relationship is not love. Choosing yourself is not automatically selfish. Setting boundaries is not automatically betrayal. Healing is not ingratitude. Sometimes the bravest thing is stopping the abandonment of yourself to protect a family image. And if you're going through this, remember, you deserve peace. You are not cruel for needing boundaries. Your life matters too. You cannot control whether someone changes. You can control what you continue participating in. And sometimes stepping away isn't the end. It's the first time your life becomes yours. If this video gave you language for something you've been carrying silently, leave a comment. Your story might help someone else feel less alone. Subscribe to Teeh Psyche for more deep psychology breakdowns and hidden truths about human behavior.